The restaurant industry is crumbling under the weight of shifting consumer habits, economic chaos, and relentless competition, and even the biggest names aren't safe. In 2025, once iconic restaurant chains are spiraling into decline, closing doors, and filing for bankruptcy at an alarming rate. From shocking closures to desperate rebranding attempts, the unraveling of these giants is a cautionary tale of how quickly fortunes can change in the fast-paced world of dining. Is your favorite spot on the chopping block? Stay tuned as we dive into the 15 restaurant chains that are falling apart in 2025 and the jaw-dropping reasons behind their downfall. You won't believe how bad it's gotten. 1. TGI Fridays. In November 2024, TGI Fridays shockingly filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in the United States, a stark reflection of the seismic shifts rocking the casual dining landscape. The company's decision was driven by a confluence of factors: skyrocketing interest rates, intensifying competition from fast casual and delivery-focused startups, and an enormous debt burden that spiraled out of control. Financial reports indicate that the chain was battling a debt load exceeding $1.5 billion, a figure that left little room for strategic investments or marketing campaigns. In response, TGI Fridays embarked on an aggressive strategy to close numerous underperforming locations, shutting down over 100 restaurants in the first quarter of 2025 alone. The restructuring efforts are aimed at streamlining operations, reducing overhead costs by nearly 40%, and refocusing on more profitable urban markets. Analysts predict that if the chain can successfully pivot its business model, integrating digital ordering, innovative menu items, and a refreshed brand identity, it might claw its way back from the brink. However, with heavy competition and a fiercely contested market, the road to recovery is laden with uncertainties and steep financial challenges that might take years to overcome. 2. Red Lobster. Red Lobster has been grappling with a turbulent storm of financial woes, marked by declining sales and fierce competition from both high-end seafood restaurants and budget-friendly alternatives. Recent data shows that same-store sales have fallen by nearly 15% over the past 2 years, reflecting a shift in consumer preferences and increased options in the seafood dining market. The chain has been forced to shutter several locations across the country as revenue streams dried up, with local economies reporting closures that affect up to 10,000 jobs collectively. Although Red Lobster has not yet filed for bankruptcy, its balance sheet tells a troubling story, with mounting operational costs and credit facilities that are squeezing profit margins. Industry experts warn that if current trends persist, Red Lobster could face insolvency scenarios similar to its counterparts, and must invest in significant menu innovation and digital transformation to attract a new wave of customers. The company is currently exploring a strategic overhaul, including revamped dining experiences and a pivot to sustainable seafood sourcing. But the financial strain remains a critical hurdle that may significantly impact its future operations. 3. Applebee's. Applebee's, once a beloved neighborhood eatery, now finds itself at a crossroads amid mounting challenges that mirror the struggles of other casual dining giants. The chain has closed numerous underperforming locations. Reports suggest around 50 restaurants in the past year, as it struggles to keep pace with evolving consumer tastes and the pressure to modernize its dining experience. Applebee's faces an increasingly competitive market where delivery, online ordering, and ghost kitchens have shifted the focus away from sit-down meals. Compounded by economic pressures, including a 7% inflation rate in labor and food costs, the company finds itself squeezed on all sides. Financial analysts point out that Applebee's revenue has seen a downward trend of 20% in recent quarters, raising alarms about its long-term viability. In response, the brand is actively working on revitalizing its menu, introducing plant-based options and healthier choices, while also investing in digital technologies to enhance customer engagement. The company's internal efforts include strategic partnerships with tech firms to streamline operations and cut costs, but whether these moves will secure its future remains uncertain amid a rapidly changing culinary landscape. 4. Denny's. The iconic diner-style chain, Denny's, has not been spared from the hardships that beset the casual dining industry. The company has shuttered several of its historic locations, with data indicating that nearly 30% of its dine-in restaurants have closed over the past 2 years. Declining customer traffic by an estimated 15% year-over-year, compounded by surging operational costs, has forced Denny's to rethink its strategy. Rising food prices driven by global supply chain disruptions and increased labor costs have squeezed profit margins, prompting a bold initiative to adapt. In an effort to reverse the downturn, Denny's is investing heavily in technology to improve efficiency, such as implementing self-order kiosks and mobile payment systems to reduce wait times and enhance customer satisfaction. Alongside these digital advances, the chain is reevaluating its menu offerings to attract a younger demographic that favors healthier and more innovative dishes. Industry observers note that this transformation is critical. Without significant adaptation, Denny's could see continued losses that might lead to further closures. The evolving market landscape demands not just cost-cutting, but a wholesale reinvention of the traditional diner experience. 5. Wendy's. Despite its status as a stalwart in the fast food world, Wendy's faces its own share of headwinds as it attempts to navigate a turbulent economic climate. The company has recently closed several underperforming outlets, shedding about 50 locations in the past year alone. Financial disclosures reveal that while overall sales remain stable in core markets, Wendy's is grappling with a 12% drop in profits due to heavy investments in modernizing its digital ordering platforms and remodels. This strategic reassessment aims to reposition the brand by optimizing menu offerings, introducing cutting-edge technology, and reducing overhead costs. Marketing data indicates that digital sales now account for nearly 40% of Wendy's revenue, a figure that underscores the importance of their pivot towards an online and delivery-first approach. The fast food giant is rethinking its market strategy, exploring localized menus tailored to regional tastes and increasing its focus on sustainability, including commitments to reduce carbon emissions by 25% over the next 5 years. However, the financial challenges remain acute. Analysts warn that failure to deliver on these ambitious goals could lead to diminished market share, exacerbating the chain's struggle to maintain profitability in a fiercely competitive environment. 6. Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse, once a dominant player in the casual dining sector, now finds itself navigating a financial minefield that has led to a rapid decline in its footprint. The chain has closed numerous locations over the past 3 years, with current data suggesting a reduction of nearly 20% in store count. These closures are symptomatic of broader financial challenges, a mix of declining sales, increased food costs, and stiff competition that have eroded profit margins. Outback reported a 10% drop in same-store sales last quarter alone, hinting at weakening customer loyalty and the rising cost of ingredients such as prime beef and fresh produce. The company's restructuring efforts include streamlining operations, renegotiating supplier contracts, and investing in more efficient kitchen technologies. Moreover, Outback is exploring innovative dining concepts, such as a revamped menu with sustainable offerings and digital enhancements like tableside ordering through mobile devices. The strategic realignment also involves downsizing corporate infrastructure and investing savings into local store improvements. While the chain remains a beloved brand, the pressing need to adapt to shifting consumer expectations and economic pressures underscores the perilous path ahead if these measures do not successfully reverse its fortunes. 7. Hooters. Hooters, famed for its casual dining and sports bar atmosphere, is facing a dramatic downward spiral as it grapples with declining sales and an urgent need for reinvention. Over the last 2 years, the chain has closed several locations across the country, with recent figures suggesting a 25% reduction in its restaurant count. Contributing factors include a shifting consumer base, increased competition from more modern sports bars, and a broader societal shift away from its traditional branding. Data reveals that Hooters' revenue dropped by nearly 18% last year, forcing the company to reevaluate its business model in hopes of attracting a broader customer base. The chain is exploring innovative concepts, such as introducing a diversified menu featuring healthier options, family-friendly environments, and technology-driven service enhancements like app-based ordering and interactive in-store experiences. Legal and social pressures have also compelled Hooters to undergo a comprehensive rebranding, attempting to balance its iconic image with modern sensibilities. Industry analysts project that if Hooters fails to modernize swiftly, it could face a steep decline, with potential closures reaching up to 40% of its current locations in the next 5 years. A scenario that would mark a dramatic fall from its once glorious peak. 8. Ruby Tuesday. Ruby Tuesday, which once operated hundreds of restaurants nationwide, has experienced a staggering contraction in its presence, indicative of its ongoing financial struggles. The chain has seen its number of locations plummet by approximately 70% from its peak, a chilling statistic that underscores the severity of its decline. Once a symbol of American casual dining, Ruby Tuesday now battles dwindling sales, with recent quarterly reports showing a 22% decrease in revenue and a corresponding drop in customer footfall. The dramatic reduction in locations, from over 700 to just around 210, is not just a numbers game. It reflects a loss of brand relevance in an era of rapidly changing consumer preferences. The company has been forced to close nearly 40 restaurants in the last year alone, impacting local economies and the livelihoods of thousands of employees. To combat this, Ruby Tuesday is attempting to restructure its business model, diversifying its menu, and investing in digital marketing strategies to revive interest. However, the road to recovery is fraught with challenges, as the brand must convince a modern audience of its renewed value amid stiff competition and a market saturated with trendy new dining options. 9. Sizzler. Once a household name known for its buffet-style dining, Sizzler now faces a dramatic decline as it struggles to stay relevant in the fast-evolving restaurant industry. The chain has seen a sharp drop in popularity, from over 400 locations at its zenith to less than 100 remaining nationwide. Industry analysts point to a 30% decline in same-store sales year over year and a shift in consumer dining habits as buffet culture wanes in favor of more specialized, healthier options. Financial statements reveal that Sizzler's revenues have decreased by an average of 15% annually over the past 5 years, forcing it to cut costs and close unprofitable locations. The remaining restaurants are grappling with outdated decor, diminishing brand loyalty, and logistical hurdles posed by high food waste inherent in buffet-style service. To survive, Sizzler is exploring innovative approaches, such as converting some locations into streamlined fast casual eateries, introducing on-demand meal kits, and leveraging technology to minimize waste. While the company's management projects cautious optimism, the stark reality of dwindling customer interest and an aging infrastructure suggests that Sizzler's future remains precarious, a scenario where continued inaction could lead to the disappearance of yet another once-beloved dining brand. 10. Boston Market. Boston Market, a chain once known for its rotisserie chicken and home-style meals, has been in a serious state of decline, marked by a dramatic reduction in its number of operating restaurants. From a peak of 1,200 restaurants, the chain has shrunk to just over 300 locations, a reduction of nearly 75% that underscores systemic financial challenges. The chain's contraction has not only affected its revenue, which has reportedly fallen by 40% in the last 5 years, but also led to significant job losses and frustrated franchisees. Current data indicates that many of the remaining locations suffer from outdated interiors and a menu that no longer resonates with today's health-conscious consumers. The decline is further exacerbated by rising operational costs, including rent, utilities, and labor, squeezing profit margins. In a desperate bid to survive, Boston Market is seeking to streamline operations by investing in energy-efficient appliances, modernizing its kitchens, and embracing digital ordering and delivery services. However, even with these efforts, the chain faces an uphill battle to regain lost market share in an industry that prizes innovation and agility over nostalgia. Without substantial investment in brand repositioning and menu rejuvenation, Boston Market risks further erosion of its presence on the American dining landscape. 11. Buffalo Wild Wings. Buffalo Wild Wings, once the go-to spot for sports enthusiasts and wing lovers, has seen its fortunes wane amidst a perfect storm of legal challenges and declining customer traffic. Recent reports highlight that all its Canadian locations have closed, a clear indication of its struggle to maintain international viability. The company cites a 20% drop in customer visits over the past year, leading to an estimated 15% decrease in revenue. Legal battles over labor disputes and contractual disagreements with franchising partners have further bogged down the company, creating an environment where resources that could be used for growth are instead tied up in litigation. As a result, Buffalo Wild Wings has been forced to shutter an increasing number of locations. Nearly 25% of its U.S. restaurants have been placed under review for potential closure. The chain is attempting to pivot by updating its menu to include plant-based options, investing in digital ordering for seamless customer experiences, and doubling down on esports sponsorships to attract younger audiences. Nevertheless, the continued decline in foot traffic, rising overhead costs, and unresolved legal matters paint a concerning picture of the chain's future, one in which further closures and restructuring may be unavoidable if these issues are not promptly addressed. 12. Old Country Buffet. Once synonymous with family dining and endless buffets, Old Country Buffet is now clinging to survival with a mere 13 locations remaining from its former height of over 600. This staggering 98% reduction is not just a business metric, but a cultural signal of the changing American dining scene. Old Country Buffet's woes are tied to repeated bankruptcy filings, each one punctuating a cycle of restructuring that failed to reverse its fortunes. Financial data suggests that each bankruptcy filing, 3 in the past decade, was precipitated by unsustainable debt levels, rising food costs, and an inability to pivot quickly enough to changing consumer preferences. The buffet chain's dramatic decline also reflects a broader aversion to all-you-can-eat models, as diners increasingly opt for healthier, more sustainable choices. Rising overhead costs, particularly in maintaining large dining spaces and kitchen operations, have further squeezed profits. The remaining locations are often in areas with dwindling populations or saturated dining markets, making future growth unlikely. Industry observers warn that without a radical change in business model or ownership, Old Country Buffet could soon vanish, marking the end of an era in American dining. 13. Steak 'n Shake. Steak 'n Shake's downward trend is becoming increasingly alarming as the chain has seen its number of restaurants drop from 626 in 2018 to 493 in 2023. This 21% reduction over 5 years hints at underlying financial difficulties that belie its once stable sales figures. While same-store sales have remained relatively stable at around $10,000 per month per location, heightened competition, rising ingredient costs, particularly for beef and dairy, and labor shortages are eroding profit margins. The chain is struggling to modernize its dining experience in a market where consumers favor quick service innovations, mobile ordering, and healthier menu options. Management is attempting to revitalizing the brand through remodeling older locations, introducing a modern digital ordering system, and exploring franchisee incentives to boost performance. However, the steep decline in physical locations suggests that these measures may not be sufficient to stem the tide. With an aging customer base and an over-reliance on traditional diner fare, Steak 'n Shake must accelerate its innovation and strategic pivots or face potential bankruptcy. The trajectory so far paints a sobering picture of a once robust brand grappling with the realities of a drastically changing fast food industry. 14. Frisch's Big Boy. Frisch's Big Boy, a regional powerhouse in the American dining scene, has recently shown troubling signs of contraction. The operator has removed about 20 locations from its website, now listing only 31 stores as open to serve, a significant reduction in its footprint that speaks volumes about its current challenges. Historically, Frisch's maintained a strong presence in the Midwest, with over 100 locations at its peak. But recent economic pressures and shifting consumer preferences have led to this drastic downsizing. The dramatic cut, nearly a 70% decline in its operational base, is attributed to a combination of factors, including stagnant sales, an inability to attract new customers, and high maintenance costs for older facilities. Data indicates that customer visits have fallen by almost 25% over the past 2 years, with many franchises struggling to break even. To counteract this trend, Frisch's Big Boy is exploring new revenue streams, such as catering services, home meal kits, and partnerships with third-party delivery apps in hopes of recapturing market share. However, the window for recovery is closing as competitors modernize faster, leaving Frisch's with an urgent need to reassess its core business model and invest in a comprehensive brand revitalization strategy to avoid further decline. 15. Panera Bread. Panera Bread, previously lauded for its wholesome menus and customer-centric approach, is now amid a significant management shakeup that may herald deeper challenges within the chain. CEO Jose Alberto Duenas, who had steered the company for 1.5 years, recently stepped down, a move that sends ripples through investor communities and franchise owners alike. This abrupt change at the helm comes at a time when Panera is facing internal challenges, from executive turnover to the pressures of digital transformation and heightened competition in the fast casual segment. Financial reports show that while same-store sales have plateaued, profit margins have been squeezed by escalating operational costs and the need for continuous innovation. The departure of a CEO after such a short tenure suggests underlying turmoil, potentially stemming from strategic disagreements, shareholder pressures, or the inability to effectively execute a plan to navigate the broader industry shifts. Analysts note that Panera's management shakeup is part of a broader trend in the industry, where many chains are experiencing high turnover at the executive level amid a rapidly evolving marketplace. The uncertainty at the top could impact employee morale, franchise stability, and the company's long-term strategic direction, all of which require careful navigation to ensure Panera Bread does not follow the path of decline seen in other chains. And there you have it. 15 restaurant chains that are fighting to survive or have already crumbled in 2025. As the industry evolves, only those who adapt will make it through the storm. Will your favorite spots find a way to bounce back, or are they destined to disappear forever? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates on the shifting tides of the dining world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.